Howdy there, folks. John Pelham again. Once again, Pastor Austin has uh, provided me with a kernel of thought that I have selected to do this video presentation on. This past Sunday, he did the third in a series of sermons um, all around the topic, Is God Still Speaking? And I thought it was so profound and so appropriate that I have asked him, and he's relented to let me uh, quote just a section out of his sermon. It is through relationships in building the kingdom of God. There is no teaching in baptism without meals and friendship. I believe the same is true for our calling. We must lean into the image of Jesus' care and concern for the world around him to truly understand the Great Commission. We must give attention to life, death, and resurrection of Christ as rooted in relationship so that we don't fall into the trap that so many of our Christian ancestors did. That is, forcing a gospel message of love through avenues of harm and manipulation. It just doesn't work. And then he concludes that segment by saying, the message must match the methods, or the methods must match the message. And I recalled from that back several years ago, a media theorist by the name of Marshall McLuhan came up with the concept, the medium is the message. And basically he said that it's used to refer to anything that affects how people communicate or send messages to each other. He used the word message to refer to the change of scale or pace that is introduced into human affairs. So in Pastor Austin's words, there is no teaching in baptism without meals and friendship. So the teaching in baptism are the message, meals and friendship in this case are the methods. And we need to think in terms of how we approach folks as we are sharing our interaction with God or our concept of Christ, and think about where they are in their life. So relationships are very important. And I'm going to finish this with a little page that I found from Reverend Fritz Fritsch, who is a Presbyterian minister. And he begins by saying that in a period of less than a week, he and his wife had a baby girl born, and his mother died in a very shocking and sudden fashion. And he talks about the emotional turmoil that they went through in this. They were tossed on an emotional sea, as he says. And he says, thankfully, there was a man named George Goodman who happened to be an executive minister in the particular presbytery that he was serving in. And he came to him during this time, and he said he didn't say any wise things that stuck with me or changed my life. He didn't grab me and say, get a grip, or tell me I feel your pain. He didn't pass along any kind of theological platitudes or comforting bromides. I can't recall that he said anything at all. And it was probably, whatever he said probably was wise. But what I remember is his calming presence, his kindness, his obvious sympathy. I just remember him sitting with me. It wasn't his words, it was his presence. Like philosopher Marshall McLuhan famously observed, the medium was the message. George didn't bring a message of comfort. He was the message of comfort. That was his gift. And later on he says, that's what George Goodman was and is so gifted at, sharing the presence of Christ through his presence, his relationship. the medium becomes the message. And just as Pastor Austin said, it's our relationship with people that helps us understand where they are and how we need to approach them with whatever message we bring to them. Folks, we get a lot of good out of these sermons, and it always makes me kind of want to dig in and find um, some other things that kind of support that. So I hope you will do the same thing as you listen to sermons and take grains of those and see what it means to you in your life. Thanks for being with me today. Uh, Look forward to being with you next time and appreciate your viewing us. Bye bye.